Hello bros and welcome to SFX0 Bro5 Production in the first part of Sakura Succubus 2. I've been wanting to do this through the entire Sakura Night 2. This I didn't have to wait because I had to stop recording for half a year. So at least I didn't have to wait for it because I only had time to read the first parts of Sakura Succubus when we started. So I'm not sure if they have a recap. I'm gonna tell a little about my contact. So I think we paid most attention to Cosmos. That probably the one I liked the most nearly. Besides Marina. Marina was probably the one I would probably most have chosen if I got a choice there, but it seems like I was just thrown upon that. Ayu is not the someone I'm gonna choose. She needs to learn to be nice. Even if she just plays nice, that's enough. Especially if they are an idol. You don't have to like the ones that are your followers, but you should never tell and you should always act like it at least. So I suppose we start up and see what it has in store for us. Actually, one thing I want to check first. Let's see how many pictures there are. 12. Okay, 3 entire pages. That's exactly a perfect amount. So let's start. Oh wait, I need to increase the text speed also. There. It was my last year at high school that I had my first girlfriend. Her name was Yuki, and she had a very long dark hair and a stern, serious face. She wasn't athletic and she didn't like talking to people. It was almost impossible to bring more than 5 words out of her at a time. In the end, my classmates learned to keep their distance. She was pretty, yes, but she wasn't worth their time. Yuki's silence wasn't that of a shy girl. She was surely almost rude, dismissive too. It seemed like she actively disdained all our classmates and the human race in general. I thought she disdained me too, until she confessed to me. Her confession surprised me, but it wasn't unwelcome. I was only 18 when it happened, and I was in my last year of high school. I'd never been confessed to before, and I was flattered. I accepted her confession, and after that we became a couple. We almost always together. We walked in school in the mornings and back home in the afternoons. We studied for exams in the library, and Yuki tried and failed to make me lunch on several occasions. Yeah. I'm actually pretty good at cooking food. At least according to me. My friend thinks it's a little too spicy, but well, one of my friends thinks it's too spicy. My other friend thinks it's good, but I suppose it compares with what you prefer. I mean, if he had to choose what he eats, he would technically only eat done dinners. Those that you put in the freezer and then just warm up and eat. Those are the only things he would eat in that case. And that isn't even home cooked food, so it isn't fair. But when we went on dates too, I can still remember one particular date we had in the countryside. It was an unfestival hot day, and I don't know. Shoved instantly in the undergrowth. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce that, if I even know that word. Yuki was wearing a sheer cotton dress with thin straps and her dark hair loose. She kept fanning herself, but it wasn't hot enough to ward away the incessant heat. I'm just gonna sit down a little bit more comfortably. Yep. Oh, come on! I don't even think this is actually an end scene. We always go to scene number 2 anyway. Right? Yeah. In the end, she took off her wedge sandals and waded into out into a lake to cool her down. I went on after her and splashed her with water. She didn't squeak in alarm, she wasn't very emotional, but she did splash me back. We got into a fight and Yuki's dress was soaked through. I clung to her body, accentuating her curves. Droplets of water rolled down the insides of her tights and she had to wring out her skirt like a sponge. I think about that moment a lot. That might have been one of the happiest days of my life. I told Yuki as much when we were in the train going back home. She only tipped her head to one side and said, "Really? How curious. I like a scientist overseeing some sort of experiment." It was an odd response, but Yuki had always been an odd girl. She was my girlfriend, but she didn't smile very much. She was a aloof and stoic person, but I found I didn't mind that very much. Her icy persona only made me feel more gratified when I was able to make her laugh. I never thought of dating Yuki before, but soon I became infatuated with her. I liked her a lot over time. I think I grew to love her. But our relationship was short-lived. Soon it was time for us to graduate. Yuki went to college overseas while I continued my studies in Japan. After that I never saw her again. I only spent 3 months with Yuki, but I can remember them all in a stark detail. If only she hadn't transferred into a school during our final year. If only she had waited until the last semester to confess to me. If only we had more time together. I used to think about such things a lot when we first broke up, but I don't now, not often anyway. It's been more than 10 years since then, and I'm no longer a starry-eyed 18-year-old. I'm an adult. I have a job and a very demanding boss. I'm so swept up in work I haven't had the time for new relationship in years, nor the time to sit and think about the old ones. I liked Yuki a lot, but that is in the past. I doubt I ever see her again. It's pointless to contemplate what already passed. I know that. So why am I thinking about her now? That's because beneath the moonlight in the secluded Japanese garden, I think I might have found her doppelganger. Double? Why is it... Okay. This is really strange. If you check the text, you see the A in doppelganger. Well, you see that that's not an A. That's a vocal. That's actually pronounced A. Why is it a Swedish letter in this? Because that's not any kind of spelling. So that's an actual Swedish letter. So I don't know why. It's really strange. I don't think Sakura is actually made in Sweden. It might be. I don't know, but most likely not, because the Japanese style is is very profound. I can see most likely made in Japan. At least the Japanese art style is impeccable. But let's see. I might have found her doppelganger. I know at least that doesn't exist in English. That's technically the second one, but the word just jumped out like nothing. And also we saw this in Sakura Succubus 1, so we're gonna continue reading a little bit more. A woman stands before me wearing a yellow kimono. Her long black hair tumbles around her shoulders. She looks just like Yuki. In one hand she holds a red lacquered parasol. I can't see her face, but her shoulders and her hands are creamy white. She looks so much like Yuki, I can't help but stare. Is it really her? Maybe this is just a trick of the light, or lack of. I'm seeing things. This woman can't be Yuki. I haven't seen her in over a decade. She went off to study overseas. She hasn't contacted me since we broke up. For all I know, she could be anywhere, America, France, Italy. This can't be Yuki. But if she's not Yuki, who is she? Why does she look so familiar? Excuse me. I call out to the woman. My mouth feels dry as though I swallowed a sock. Excuse me, ma'am. Are you alright? What? Oh, yes. I'm sorry if I startled you. I was just gazing at the moon. It looks so pretty tonight. Do you not agree? The woman turns her head, frowns of her dark hair fluttering. And I see, to my disappointment, but not to right, that she isn't Yuki after all. That probably goes without saying. I have no idea why I thought she might be. Given all the crazy things that have happened in my life lately, it's probably a good thing that Yuki isn't here. What would my ex-girlfriend make out of my tangled mess of romantic relationships? I'm not even sure that I'm thinking all this madness. I think it's gonna be a more of a tangled mess now, considering she has a sprite. So, yeah. Tell me, young boy, what is your name? I'm Hiroki, Ogasawa Hiroki. It's a pleasure to meet you. Hiroki, is it? That's a nice name. It suits you. The woman smiles pleasantly. My name is Hifumi. I'll be staying at Oryokan for a few days. I do hope I see you again there. I think we will get along quite splendidly. Oh yeah, it'd be nice to getting to know you too. That's what I say, but my voice is beige. Something about Hifumi makes me pause. She's not Yuki, but the feeling that I know her persists. Her name sounds awfully familiar too. Could it be? You're not the famous actress Yamamoto Hifumi, are you? Oh my, so you heard of me. One does not like to brag. I don't know if I'm that famous. But yes, you are correct. I'm Yamamoto Hifumi. I suppose I have appeared in a handful of movies. Hifumi's tone is humble and polite, but that makes her manifold accomplishments seem even more impressive. I think a handful of movies is something of an understatement. Hifumi is one of the most sought-after actors in all Japanese cinema. She's been working from the tender age of 18, and she's been in the industry for 15 years. Hifumi in her early 30s, but she doesn't look it. Her skin is flawless and emotional wrinkles, her body taut and supple beneath the folds of her kimono. She still gets asked to play the same sweet, wide-eyed Indian roles that propelled her to fame all those years ago. She starred in about 20 well-accomplished movies, and that's not to mention the numerous appearances in TV dramas, talk shows, and adverts. She's so famous, she's practically a national symbol in Japan. Everybody knows about Hifumi. I'm a big fan of hers. I loved her for years. Hell, even my dad is a big fan of hers. And my mother too. Hifumi has a wide appeal. She loved both men and women, adults and children. Maybe that's because despite her good looks, she is very modest and polite, unfailingly appreciative of her fans and softly spoken to boot. This can't be real. Are you really Yamamoto Hifumi? That's the name that my parents acquainted me with. Yes. Why? Hifumi inclines her head. Is there a problem with that? Oh no, there's no problem. It's the opposite of a problem. It is a bit embarrassing, but I'm a big fan of yours. I love your work. What? Really? Hifumi blinks, taken aback. I never thought I would find a fan of mine all the way out here. I must be more popular than I thought. Are you kidding? You're incredibly popular. You had a whole website devoted to you all over the net. Not a frequent such sites, of course. I'm certainly never looked up Ifumi Feet Wiki before. You're not just popular in Japan, you have fans all across the globe. I never thought I'd make you face to face. This is incredible. Actually, one Japanese movies I looked at that actually weren't animated. They're pretty terrible. But I haven't watched a lot of them. And I stopped watching them after I watched like 5 of them and they were all terrible. I don't think I'm so incredible really. I'm just a normal woman. But if seeing me makes you this happy, that makes me happy too. I do so enjoy bringing smiles to people's faces. That's why I became an actress in the first place. And you've done an amazing job. Keep at it, Hifumi. Of course. Hifumi bows her head. How could I not when I have fans like you? I must admit I've been in something of a slump recently. All the roles I have taken on have been so very similar. I was beginning to worry that my career is stagnating. I came here to take a break so that I might reevaluate what I wish to do in the future. But after hearing such kind words from you, I know that I cannot give up. I have fans who love me. I can see that clearly now. As such, it would be shameful of me to give up and abandon you all. Why, for me? I stared at my idol with the large shining eyes of a child. I think I was a child when I first saw one of Hifumi's movies. I would have been 14, maybe 15. It would be no lie to say that Hifumi was one of my first loves. I even had a poster of her on my bedroom wall. That was one of the reasons why I accepted Yuki's confession, actually. I always thought with her long black hair and her pale skin she looks a lot like Hifumi. I feel positively awestruck. But I can't afford to lose my senses. This is one of the lifetime chance. I need to act, and fast. Well... this is not a good answer. It should be a third one, but I could ask her for her autograph, or maybe I should dial it down a notch, and neither one is actually good. Wait, let me think for a moment. Nah, I'm not the kind of person to ask for autographs, unless it's for someone else. So maybe I should dial it down a notch. Although, on second thought, maybe I'm being a bit too effusive with my compliments. I don't want to make Hifumi feel uncomfortable. She doesn't seem to mind being praised, in fact. It's quite the opposite. But she just said she came to this ryokan to relax. It would be unfair to ask her too much during her time off. I don't want to inconvenience her. But I really do want her autograph. I stand there for a few moments, itching helplessly when... Hold it right there! Huh? I whip my head around. Since at last it's late at night, I didn't expect to be interrupted by anybody else. But life has been doing its level best to surprise me as of late. It's been succeeding too. I stare, my mouth agape as I come face to face with two girls I know very well. It's Japan's #1 idol, Iku Ayu, and with her is the famous cyan-haired, cat-eared, wearing Rapipon model Cosmos. The humble ryokan is full of bursting with the celebrities. It's a Watsuki Marina where here too we have the full house. But she isn't, it's a guess we must still be in her room sleeping. Being an ultra-famous businesswoman must be taxing. Not that I know I'm hardly on Marina's level. Wherever I look, I'm surrounded by raw star power. I'm starting to feel very out of place here. Now look here, you traitorous turncoat. Ayu stabbed her finger in my direction. You can't ask Hifumi for her autograph. You're supposed to be my producer. You're fraternizing with the enemy. You're a producer. I don't remember that. Since I met Ayu at her tropical beach retreat in Okinawa, it's a long story. She's been determinedly calling me her cameraman. When did I get such a lofty promotion? And you're my boyfriend. I don't want flirting with other girls, not behind my back. I'm sorry, Cosmo, but I wasn't flirting. I was just telling Fumi how much I like her movies. I'm a fan. Yes, I heard. You were being so loud, I'm sure everybody in the whole Ryukan heard. You're not very subtle, Hiroki. Do you really have to make so much noise? Some of us were trying to sleep. But are you? Cosmos blinks at Ayu, perplexed. You've been spying on Hiroki since before he started talking to Hifumi. Didn't you come into my room at midnight, wake me up and ask me if I wanted to keep tabs on him with you? Wait, what? You guys were spying on me? Yeah, so, what if of it? Ayu tries to look indifferent, but her face is burning. For an idol, she's always been bad at hiding her real feelings. You should be grateful that cute girls like me is giving you the time of day, you loser. So I've been demoted from a producer to a loser in the span of a few seconds. Success is such a pickled beast. Anyway, it's not like I care who you flirt with. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. You can do what you like. I just wish you do it a bit more quietly. But you were still spying on me. So what? You are a pervert, so I had to make sure you weren't going to harass Marina in her sleep or something. I'm sacrificing my sleep for the greater good. I'm like so nice and sweet. You can... How can you not love me? Don't you agree, Cosmos? What? Oh. You nudges Cosmos in the side with an elbow, which makes her jump. Yay. Ayu is so cool. She's the best. I love her even more than I love sea commas and pudding. Clap, clap, clap. I had to hide a snicker behind my hand. There's something pretty funny about Cosmos' completely deadpan delivery. Huh? Ayu glowers at me. Are you doubting my cuteness, Hiroki? No, not at all. I think you're very cute and very noble. Yes, indeed. I really am perfect, don't I? I'm so nice. In fact, I give you a few words of advice. You should stay away from that woman. Who? Me? Yes, you. You might act sweet, but I know you, Gabe. You're a wolf in sheep's clothing. Don't get too close to her, Hiroki, or she'll devour you. Perhaps this news should concern me, but being devoured by Hifumi doesn't sound all that bad. What? Why you? Ayu takes a step towards me. She is so heated she is practically shaking with rage. I'm surprised the steam isn't coming out from her ears. How could you say something so scandalous? Isn't it enough that you have three of us to doubt on you? You don't need any more. You're a bad boy, Hiroki. Your appetite cannot be sated. But I don't mind that. If you're frustrated, you can use me however you like. I'm your girlfriend and I belong to you. Hey, Cosmos, no fair. Don't try to take any moves off Hiroki. I never gave you permission. Why should I need permission? Hiroki is my boyfriend. He might be your boyfriend, but he's my producer. Before that, his duties towards me should come first. Oh, really? But I've been lovey-dovey with Hiroki much more than you have. You bitch. I recall her face burning. And that is a work of progress. I want to take my time to claim Hiroki bit by bit. I'm not cheap and easy like you. I'm an idol, not some rapid-pond bimbo, and I deserve to be treated accordingly. I'm not a bimbo. And Hiroki said he doesn't mind that I post my photos online. He supports me. If he supports you selling your body online for salivating masses, he can't love you that much. That's because he loves me that he supports me. Your cold, callous heart wouldn't understand that. Why you? You bitch, take this. No, you. And now Ayu and Kosu are bickering. Great. Oh my. I'm inclined to agree with Hifumi. Oh my dear, indeed. I'm curious, Hiroki, what is your relation to these two naughty children? That's a long story, I guess. You could say the three of us have a very close personal connection or something. Ah, I see. Hifumi nods her head sagely. You must get along well. You really think so? Yes, indeed. Ayu and Cosmo must love you a lot, or they wouldn't be bickering about you so. And if those two were not good friends, they would not be able to argue like this in the first place. It must be nice to have friends like that. I've led quite a sheltered existence myself, and I've never before partaken in such lively debates. It looks like a lot of fun. I don't know about that. I can't imagine Hifumi calling anybody a bitch or pulling their hair like Ayu and Cosmos are. It doesn't suit her nature, refined image. I think you're perfect just the way you are, Hifumi. Perfect. That's quite a compliment. I'm unsure if I'll be able to live up to your lofty expectation, but I shall do my best. As an actress, I would never want to disappoint my fans. You couldn't. You're so kind and forgiving, easy to talk to too. I don't know what Ayu seems to dislike you so much. It doesn't make any sense. In fact, I think she should stand to learn a few lessons from you. Come to think of it, Ayu and Cosmo seem to know Hifumi well. Ayu even gave her a cute nickname, Hifumine. Wouldn't that address her to be first name if they'd never spoken before? As I'm pondering this, Cosmos and Ayu's yells continue to drift through the air. And making such a commotion, I wouldn't be surprised if the cries wake the entire Ryokan. Now what's all this? And speaking of awakening Ryokan, it looks like Marina's up and about. She is wearing her typical business attire despite the lateness of the hour, but her white hair looks a bit messier than usual. Yawning, she presses a palm to her mouth and looks around. Ayu, Cosmo, it's too late for your silly argument. Stand aside. But Cosmo said, I don't care what she said. You leave her alone or I'll be forced to discipline you again. You don't want that, now do you? Eep. Ayu flinches and takes a few steps back. I guess she remembers the time back at the beach when Marina delivered a volley of slaps against her defenseless rear. Now then, Marina looks at Hifumi. I didn't expect to see you here, Hifumi. It's been too long. Marina, it's good to see you too. Hifumi offers Marina an elegant bow. How have things been? They've been going well enough. I would ask about your affairs too, but I read about you so often in the newspaper it seems hardly necessary. Your career is booming. Hardly, you're exaggerating. Hifumi laughs lightly and waves one hand as though trying to brush aside Marina's compliments. In actual fact, I've been having some doubts about my career. I feel like I'm stuck in a rut going through the motions. That's why I decided to come to the countryside. I thought I might help me clear my head. I didn't know that you would be here too, though. Oh dear, Ayu and Cosmos. This is a pleasant surprise. Feels like a family reunion. Family, huh? If Hifumi regards Marina, Ayu, and Cosmos as family, then that must mean you're not a succubus too, are you, Hifumi? One doesn't like to tell. A woman must have some secrets, you know. It adds to the allure. Hifumi giggles. But if you already know about succubi, I suppose there's no point being coy about it. That is indeed correct. I'm a succubus. I'm a member of the same clan that Marina, Ayu, and Cosmos hail from. They're all like sisters to me. Ayu and Cosmos are my cute temperament younger sisters, and Marina, well, I'm not sure if I regard her as a younger or older sister. Certainly I have lived more years than she, but I think she is even more talented than I. She's much better than I am making people listen to her. Ayu never does what I tell her to. She always ignores me. It really is sad. That's because you're too soft. You need to learn to toughen up. If you don't, nobody will pay you any heed. You might be right about that. I was so good at putting my foot down once, but now I must have lived among humans for too long. I've become quite a pushover. Don't worry, I can teach you how to say no again, if you like. I give you extensive lessons free of charge. Would you? That just might prove to be helpful. Thank you, Marina. I really am glad to see you again. And of course, I'm glad to see you again too, Cosmos. Are you? That's here's the picture that I've been waiting for. I think it's a pretty good start to a new Sakura. So at least that was all I have for Sakura Succubus 2. This time I was hit like and see you next time. Bye bye.